I am absolutely thrilled to have Naoki AOYAGI, CEO of GREE, here to present the overview of the Asian market, and very excited to hear what he's got to say.
So thank you very much for the introduction. I'm Naoki AOYAGI. I'm the CEO of the GREE US operation, and also the CFO of the GREE overall GREE Global. And then I have couple of hats. So I'm now the CFO of OpenFlame, which we operate the gaming mobile social gaming platform here in the US. So I think this is very good time to talk about the social mobile market in Asia, which is actually the in the world the largest mobile social gaming market. So it's some of you may be familiar with the Asian market, but it's in the last 6 months, 12 months, many things are going on, and now the social mobile gaming market, in example, in Japan became 3 billion market. It's actually bigger than that of the PC online social gaming market. So that's very, I think, interesting thing, and it's, I think, worth knowing that. So yeah, let's move on. Then let me do a quick brief introduction of myself. I joined GREE when we had just 10 employees, so it was at that time 100% startup. So, but the GREE at that time in 2006 was just a PC social network like Facebook, Friendster, and those kind of social network. But at that time, 5 years ago, we thought that mobile is going to be a huge, big wave. From Japan to it will happen in the US market. But we thought that 2011 mobile social gaming is going to be a huge market. So we decided to focus on mobile from 5 years ago. Then now we became, in Japan, we have 26 million user base. We operate both mobile social networking platform. It's like Facebook. And also we do have our own social games. So we have 80% of our revenues are coming from virtual goods selling. So GREE in Japan is more like the combination of Zynga and Facebook in mobile. So it's a very unique combination. And then actually the GREE is the largest the mobile social network, and also one of the largest mobile social gaming company in Japan and in Asia. So we recently decided to expand our operation to the US. So now we have in the US, we have GREE International, which we focus on the games development. And also in Nepal, we announced the acquisition of OpenFlame. So in the US market, GREE is going to do both the platform and also the gaming contents. I think it's more like Nintendo. Nintendo has their own hardware platform, and also to differentiate from other platforms, they have their own contents like Mario, Zelda, those kind of stuff, Pokemon. So we are now trying to do the almost same stuff in social mobile. Then this time let's move on to the not the GREE stuff, the overall market stuff. Some of you are familiar with the the Asian market, but in fact Asia is the largest social mobile market at this moment. When I talk about the free-to-play virtual good social gaming in the US, we are talking about these guys, Zynga, EA, TinyCo, Kabam, Stormwave, some developer from Facebook. But they don't talk about the Asian market and Asian players. But I'm going to show you the interesting fact. The left-hand side, this is actually the calendar year, last year revenue. The blue one is GREE's revenue, which was around 600 million US. the Jingle revenue, which we saw a couple of weeks ago, is exactly same as we have. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna be say, this year, say, close to or more than 1 billion, but actually the now Greece are in line with that number. So Greece gonna generate 1 to 1.5 billion revenue this year from mobile social gaming, virtual goods selling. And the interesting thing is, yellow one is Nexon. It's a little more to go public very soon. So they have in 2009 more than 600 million revenue, and then their annual growth rate is more than 30%. So they're gonna be 1 billion. So yeah, interesting thing is, for example, in Japan, Gree had already 5 billion market cap, and our competitor DNA, they have 5 to 6, 7 billion market cap as well. And also, there is another, say, multi-billion-dollar mobile social gaming company called Cyber Agent. So in Japan, with just, say, 120 million, say, population, there are 3 multi-billion-dollar market cap companies. They are just doing social mobile. So that's, I think, very interesting thing. And that's, we didn't see in the US yet, but I'm sure, we're gonna see some cases in the US in the next couple of years. But I think this is a very interesting fact. And also, if we look at the revenue number and the monthly unique user of Jingle, then we can calculate the ARPU per unique users. So Jingle's number is less than $1. It's still going up, but I think it's roughly, say, close to $1 this moment. But the ARPU number of, for example, Gree is based on the active users we have, the monthly active users, the ARPU to ARPU comparison, we have actually more than $4 ARPU. So, but sometimes Western people say it's just a, say, Japan phenomenon or Asian phenomenon, but I don't agree with that. I think I can tell you logically why Gree and other Asian players have higher ARPU. I'm gonna explain later. But then interesting thing is, now if you look at the bottom line, this number, EBIT margin, Gree has, say, 50% EBIT margin. Nexon, I think, 50%. But Jingle, I think 20%. But it's actually, there's a Facebook credit. So Facebook took 30% off. So that's, I think, the biggest reason. But still, the Asian players are more and more profitable in terms of the, say, business model. Then, if you see the Activision EA, I think that Activision EA number is wrong. Switch. Activision has higher EBIT margin. EA is around, say, 8%. Sorry, but this shows, say, social gaming and the mobile players has much higher profit margin. Then I think they are very aggressive in the mergers and acquisitions. Then in the, I think last 12 months, we saw a lot of acquisitions in the US done by the Asian players, right? Gree acquired OpenFend in this, say, April. DNA, bought the Engimoco at the, say, 300 to 400 million, which is really high. And Tencent, acquired Riot Game, which is, say, MMO online gaming. So I think now, the Asian players kind of, say, dominated their domestic market, and they are now looking for the more and more, further growth. So as a result, say, they have the very strong cash flow in their, own country. So now they are spending a lot of, say, money and time in the US market. So that's actually the big conversions between Asian market and US market. That's, I think, we're going to see in the next 2 years. Then, yeah, let's move on to the kind of the, say, reasons why, Asia was really successful in social mobile. I think it's good to know because this thing will happen in the US again in the, this is just a kind of 1 year, 2 years time lag between Asian countries and I think the US and Europe. So a good thing we have in Japan and Korea is, there are a couple of things. I think the largest thing is, career billing. Now, we see a lot of, say, kind of programs around, say, billing. Facebook credit, Apple billing, Google checkout. But in Japan, and in Korea, the mobile carriers, say, they provide the kind of highly integrated, very easy to use career billing system. Also, they just charge, say, 10 to 15%, which help to build the overall ecosystem around the platform. That was really good. In Japan we have just this kind of carrier billing system, say, since I think the beginning of, say, 2000 or 1999. So that's I think one thing. And if we have those things in the US, that I think the market growth will happen in a very short term. And also the second thing is probably because of the, say, high density in the in Japan and Korea. Now the high penetration of 3G and the mobile internet access we see. For example, in Japan, 99% users use 3G, and more than 70% users have fixed rate mobile internet access. So that's really helped the growth. And also the third thing is, carriers to sell their contents and to increase their data ARPU, they do massive promotion in TV, mobile, PC online, everywhere. So that was, I think, one of the reasons why Asian players have much higher ARPU than, say, Jingle. And then I believe that if we all set these kind of things in the West market, we're going to see much higher ARPU in mobile social gaming. And also another thing, very unique thing in Korea and Japan is, mobile social gaming players, they own their platform. So they do kind of not the pure play, they do the kind of, say, integrated play. So combination of Facebook and Jingle. For example, in Korea, the largest mobile carrier, which is SK Telecom, they acquired, in the past, the Cyworld, which is the largest social community in Korea. So they do provide telecom service. Then on top of that, they do have their own social community platform, and also they provide their own mobile social games. So which is very strong and very easy to leverage the existing assets like distribution, social discovery, those kind of stuff. So that's the things the reason why the Asian players have higher profit margin, and probably in mobile space, Facebook is strong though. Yeah, probably this kind of integrated thing happen. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's the why Asian companies are very successful. Then as a result, now this is a kind of the Greece past 5 years track record. So at the very beginning, almost flat. At that time, we were focusing on 100% focusing on PC. But after we changed our focus to mobile, we saw the tremendous growth. And the funny thing is, from 2008, we started the TV promotion. Actually, Gree and DNA, these top two guys are #1 and #2 TV ad client last year by impression. It's really funny thing. We do a lot of TV promotion more than telecom carriers and other, say, P&G, Toyota, those companies. So that's I think funny and interesting thing in Japan and Asia. So then I covered about the say past say things why Japan and Korea were that kind of advanced mobile social gaming market. But in the next 2 years, that will happen again, I think. In fact, for example, now we see a big wave of Android, both in Japan and Korea. In Japan, now the more than the half, actually the 6%, probably this year 2/3 of the new shipment, mobile handset shipment, will be smartphone. And the close to, I think, 60 to 70% of that will be Android. Also, the Korea, yeah, now as they have Samsung and LG, in their country. So yeah, in Korea, the same thing happened. Android is the biggest part of their mobile, smartphone shipment. And now we see the strong, traction. So I think now in the US, iOS is still, pretty strong and #1 priority, then probably Android. But, no one knows when Android is coming in the US. But in Japan and in Korea, actually that's happening and making a lot of revenues. So I think, Japan and Korea will set the trend, then that will happen, probably 1 year later, 2 years later, from, that happened in Japan and Korea. So it's, I think, good, worth looking at watching Japan, Korea things. And then funny thing is, now the biggest problem from developers' point of view is the distribution. But Japan and Korea, they have strong support from the mobile carriers as well. So in Japan, Docomo and KDDI, #1 and #2, mobile carriers, they do a lot of promotion, both in the TV and also the on-site, a lot of promotion, discovery, search, those kind of stuff for the developers. And also the Korea, interesting thing is, in Korea, #1, mobile carrier is K Telecom. They primarily control the distribution, not the Apple and Google. Because of probably the gaming regulation, that's one thing. And also they have strong, selling power. So yeah, even with Google and Apple, they have strong negotiation power. Then now they kind of have a control in distribution. So in Korea, funny thing is going, like AT&T or Verizon control the distribution and support the developers. Such kind of thing is happening in Korea and Japan. That's wouldn't happen in the U.S., but that's one of the reasons why they lead the market. Because yeah, now mobile carriers are trying to increase the data up and also keep the control. Then as a result, these #1 and #2 mobile carrier in Japan and Korea, they are selling Android, not the iPhone. iPhone actually, KT and the SK, they are selling. And in Japan, #3 mobile carrier, SoftBank, it's only selling iPhone, but their focus is Android. So if you're interested in Android market and cross-platform things, I think it's good to look at the Japan market and Korean market as a kind of reference. Then use that experiences, bring those experiences to the US. That is very, I think, useful. Yeah, I think the interesting thing is in Japan we have a lot of mobile social gaming providers. Then companies like Capcom and Konami, they are trying to transform from the traditional console gaming to real mobile social gaming company. And then, to accelerate that, Konami recently acquired Hudson. Then bought Hudson, and they have, with just 3 games, they have 30 million revenue a month, which is, I think, yeah, more than number 2 Facebook developer. So, yeah, that's I think, that's what's going on in Asia, and I think, they are not focusing on only Asian market. They are coming to the US in the next 12 months. So that's the very interesting things to know. So let's move on to the global social gaming stuff. Now we see, yeah, from the, say, second half of last year, we see a lot of, say, mobile social games with, say, 1 million, 2 million, probably sometimes 3 million, 4 million revenue a month. But yeah, it's, I think I just started. Now, this is the data by Frali. So this shows now that, even in the US, premium is coming. So I think this is gonna be a big trend in the next 2 years. So then this is my kind of, say, aspiration. But what happened in Japan in the last 5 years is now the mobile social gaming market became bigger than that of PC online virtual goods selling market. PC online, it's still growing, and it's with 2 billion, say, market size a year. But the mobile social gaming, last year we had just say 1 to 1.5 billion market size, but this year is gonna be 2 to 3 billion market size. Actually, the last month, I think combined with a couple of platforms, we had more than 250 million revenue a month. So it's gonna be, I think, close to 3 billion or more than that. Then my kind of guess and aspiration is that's gonna happen again in the US market. So that's, I think, the biggest reason why Asian companies are coming to the US market. They know how to do it. And also, they believe, in the US market, social mobile gaming market is gonna be much bigger than that of Facebook. Probably some of you may, argue that, but that's actually the biggest trend, and that's I think it's gonna happen in the next couple of years, and that's the biggest reason why several hours ago Facebook guys told about they are focusing on mobile platform. Then yeah, we saw kind of similar thing in the past in console gaming areas. Yeah, this is the total shipment number of Nintendo DS. In the beginning, early stage, that yellow part, Japan set the kind of the market trend first. Then covered, say, core gamers, and also, say, Japanese senior, say, players, not the core gamers, say, the kind of regular people. Then after that, we saw the growth in the US and the European market and rest of the world. Then now we combine, they have 150 million user base. But I think in Japan, actually the shipment total was 30 million. But Greece gonna kind of say pass that number, I think within 1 year. Then also, Nintendo, console is around, say, $200. But the Android gadget in the, say, in Asian countries, around just $50 to $100. So my guess is what's gonna happen in social mobile is, I think we can reach more than 150 million users very quickly. Especially the Asian countries, Indonesia, Korea, Malaysia, probably the China is kind of a different planet, but yeah, still there's a huge market in APAC. So I think we can reach, say, more than 1 billion users, and also what we try to do, Asian players they are trying to do is, the Nintendo in the past, say traditional console gaming, happen again in social mobile areas. So yeah, it's that's we don't know yet, but that's will probably will happen in the next 2 to 3 years. So I'm gonna wrap up. So I think it's the obvious that we're gonna have a huge big wave of social mobile in the U.S. in the next couple of years. And then question is, who's gonna dominate the market? Probably some players from Asian countries like Konami, Capcom, from traditional console gaming, and also Chinese, Korean, Japanese players like Gree DNA, NHN Nexon, and the largest, say, company from China, which is Tencent. They have more than 600 million user base in China. And also probably there's some guys from Facebook. They understand the social features and how to leverage social functionalities. But they don't know mobile yet. It's actually kind of the different world. So they're gonna kind of work with Facebook and try to leverage their own assets and analytics system, those kind of stuff. But we don't know sure. We don't know yet. And also the pure play mobile social gaming companies in the US. Now we see a lot of crazy financing in this world. So they have a lot of cash to focus on the growth. So yeah, they can be a the large player in the US. So I think one thing I can say is we're gonna see a lot of competition. But it's very huge market. So I think it won't be just Facebook and Jingle. It's not like that. I think like in Japan and the Korea and China, couple of platforms can coexist, like Facebook and probably OpenFaint, or one more like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. We have 3 consoles in console gaming areas, and in Japan, Korea, we saw similar stuff. And also it's from the user's point of view, we have just Jenga. It's not the funny thing. It's it's not good for gamers. So I think from Asian countries, from Facebook, from mobile, we're gonna have a lot of the variety of games in social mobile. That's gonna happen in the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah, probably I think that's it from me. Thank you very much.
We can bring the house lights up. We'll take some questions so we can see who's got the hand up.
Hi, I'm Tim Merrill from DigiCapital. We're a games investment bank. I was talking to Jason Citron last week in San Francisco about how he's growing his business. How are you going to take that great combination to put yourself in the same position globally that you've already achieved in Japan?
Yeah, I think in Japan we have already had a strong user base and also the killer content without competition. But I think situation is different. So now we have to have more and more user base first. So now OpenFan is focusing on building platform. So but OpenFan, good thing is they have close to 5,000 games, but the user are not so activated yet. So we are trying to, with some social new products like Game Feed, we're going to activate existing user base and also bring some killer contents. So that's the basic strategy. And then once we have user base, developers like it, then create the kind of positive loop. So that's the basic strategy we have. But still, there are a lot of competition, say with Facebook, Apple, Google, and also many developers here. So Grid's gonna say produce some content, like I talk about Nintendo. So Grid's gonna provide more and more games. For example, in this summer we're gonna launch a couple of games for OpenFan. All they're made by scratch, and they're 100% focusing on U.S. market. Also, Grid's gonna do say a lot of probably the minority investment in mobile social gaming areas in the US market. Probably would do some more acquisitions in this space. Is that the right answer to your question? Thank you.
How do the monetization strategies in Asia compare to the ones in North America?
Yeah, the Asian countries, basically, we focus on the virtual goods selling in games. We have some avatar business, which is kind of, I think, kind of Asian stuff, but still, say close to 80%, 80 to 90% of our revenue are from virtual goods in social games. So I think it's basically similar to what we see in the U.S. market, like Jenga, TinyCo, Stormate. They're almost same, but we know some techniques, like using gifts and also the weekly, daily event to kind of enhance communication and also increase the ARPU. So that's I think the Korean players and Japanese players have more and more experiences. So that's one thing we will see in the U.S. market. But the Asian countries, basically the answer is mobile social gaming. Say virtual goods like fishing rods. It's gonna be broken after you use say 40, 50 times. Also the crossings for the pets and weapons for your kind of the monster, something like that. That's the how we generate the revenues. That okay? Thank you.
This is really a follow-up question from the last session. I asked a similar question. You mentioned the enormous advantage you have with the telcos in Japan and Asia in general, Korea. There's a gap to be between obviously what's going on in Asia, Japan, and what's going on in the U.S. How soon do you see that gap being closed?
Yeah, that's. I think it's a good question and difficult to answer because now we see Verizon is trying to start their own market. AT&T they're trying to do, but in Japan actually they NTT Docomo, KDDI owns distribution power in retail stores. So I think it's going to take more time, at least 1 year, probably 2 years, or it would never happen. That's my guess in the U.S. market. That's the bad thing, but that's the similar thing wouldn't happen in the very short term. That's I think. But still, now we see a lot of problems in distribution. So probably if they change their mind, probably it would work. The one thing that happened in Korea and Japan is, in Japan, KDDI, the orange one, invested in Gree in 2006. They still own 7 to 8% stake in Gree, and they now it's 100 times return. And then NTT Docomo, they sometimes invest in the kind of the content companies. Also the SK Telecom, they own their own social network, Cyworld, and they are doing both the platform and the contents. So if Verizon and AT&T kind of start to invest in content company, that will happen. But now I think they are focusing on more other things. So I think my guess is within 1 year, that wouldn't happen in the US. Thank you.
Hi, quick question. Earlier you mentioned you have a goal of obtaining 1 billion users, I think you said. So based on sheer numbers alone, what are your thoughts on China, and why isn't that a core part of your strategy?
So sorry, say it again.
Earlier you said you had a target of a billion users, and based on sheer numbers alone, why isn't China part of kind of your core strategy, and kind of what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, China, they have their own regulation, and many companies, even Facebook, Zynga, if Japanese companies try to enter into their market, but now, yeah, the Chinese companies still dominate the market. That's the one thing. Very high entry barrier there. Also, that 70% of their mobile shipment is still, say, Symbian, not the Android. So probably in the 5 years period, that would be the good market. But it's very large country, and it's gonna, I think, take time to transform from 2G country to 3G Android-based mobile country. So that's the why I said that the target is 1 billion, and China is kind of the out of the kind of that target number. Is that the right answer to your question, or more argument?
So we have time for one final question, if there's any more questions from the audience. Anybody out there? Awesome. Thank you, Naoki. Awesome presentation.